So Sandfall Interactive decided to go visit Square Enix at their headquarters in the spirit of creative collaboration to exchange vision and ideas. Now, a lot of people are excited for this because they think it means maybe more turn-based RPGs from Square Enix, and that's cool. But the thing I'm more excited about is I'm hoping that this meeting was sincere and just not for show, and that it's a reflection of maybe a change, or just maybe even a reflection of the current Square Enix mindset. Because ever since Clair Obscur came out, everyone's like, oh my God, look at this game, do this game. Why Square Enix? Why can't you do this? And they could have easily let it be that. But instead they're like, oh yeah, not only did we hear you, but we're having them over to our house. And I just think that's a great mindset for them to have. Because if it is in the spirit of collaboration, as they say, then that just opens the door for more ideas to flow. And I love the fact that they're talking with other studios like this. And this is so refreshing to see, because you have other companies like Warner Brothers Interactive or the Pokemon company, Nintendo, and they're straight up patenting game mechanics. So other companies can't maybe take that and have a fresh new spin on it, which is fucking frustrating. So it's really nice to see this kind of open-mindedness from these two companies, and Square Enix isn't getting defensive. At least on the surface, they don't appear to be, and I really hope it's on the level and genuine. And I feel like if it's the developers meeting, I feel like it probably is from a genuine place. At least that's my takeaway. I really hope actually that when they sat down and all the pleasantries were out of the way, that the Square Enix developers got to brass tacks and they picked the developers from Sandfall Interactive's brains apart. I hope they took everything they possibly could from that meeting. And I hope they asked them where they got their inspiration from. Why did they decide to do a turn-based RPG? How did they figure out what to do, what they did? And hopefully that will be reflected in later Square Enix games. And as much as new turn-based games would be great, I personally don't want every Square Enix game to be a turn-based RPG. I like my Final Fantasy Tactics. I like my Star Ocean action RPGs. Not everything needs to be turn-based, but definitely some things can be. So the turn-based stuff is great, but the thing I'm even more excited for is just, I hope it just leads to better Final Fantasy games and other RPGs from Square Enix. Because if we look at Clair Obscur, there's so much more to take away than just turn-based combat. There was very little fat in that game, probably had something to do with the medium budget game. But it wasn't really boring or tedious a lot of the time playing Clair Obscur, and then just the way the characters interacted with each other was just so much more mature and nuanced, and it felt like real people talking, whereas love JRPGs to death, sometimes the conversation can be a little stilted, and people who play JRPGs know exactly what I'm talking about. And a reason why this mindset is so good from Square Enix is, as they say, pride before the fall. And this is not very prideful behavior on their part if they're on the level. So that just gives me a lot of hope for the company, because they could have easily dug their heels in and done their own thing and been pissed off and ignored the success Sandfall Interactive has had, but they haven't. So that gives me some good feelings about the company. I mean, obviously they got problems. They're going through that big reshuffle right now with all their studios, their 3-year plan to reorganize the company. And goddamn, if you look at their stock price, even that's overinflated right now. Their stock price is like soaring right now, and there's no reason it should be. I think they've gotten some new investors, but it's not like they've been pumping out amazing games and products and the stock price is reflecting. So there's just a lot of worrying signs about Square Enix, and this is something that makes me more confident in the company's future. And let's face it, with this meeting, I'm really hoping Square Enix looks inward and realize they need to innovate and not trend chase. Because let's face it, Square Enix says they have a really bad tendency of chasing trends. Final Fantasy 13 was chasing the Call of Duty cinematic adventure experience trend. Final Fantasy 15, open world trend. Final Fantasy 16, that action trend. Some of those games had some successful things about them, but I think all of them kind of share the thing where they weren't universally praised or received by the fan base as earlier titles were. Because, I mean, it's not like they haven't learned lessons. Remake and Rebirth were fantastic RPGs, loved those. But then you hear about Dragon Quest 12 maybe going the action RPG route. And it comes down to, are these changes, when they go certain directions, authentic? Do they naturally come about? Or is it because, ooh, this is where other games are going, we need to go to this direction too? Throw away the pride, do what needs to be done, take any lessons from where you can get them and apply that to your own product. And hell, maybe even there could be a collaboration down the road. Maybe Sandfall Interactive will work with Square Enix to make a JRPG. Maybe Square Enix will even hire them. Maybe not for Final Fantasy or something, but maybe a new JRPG sub-series of some kind. Crazier things have happened, and I think that'd be pretty sweet. And that'd be such a full circle moment for a lot of the people working at Sandfall Interactive for all the different JRPGs they obviously played when they were kids. So what do you all think of this collaboration? Do you think it's going to lead to anything? Do you think Square Enix is going to take it to heart? Let me know in the comments, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.